I'm just back from my trip to India, 3 week long. Went up with lots of family and friends. Received much love and happiness and food. On the last day, I sat under a tree and I was attempting to recite this poem by Goethe. It's called Welcome and Farewell. It seemed appropriate because it's a poem about meeting and parting. It's deeply emotional and divided into two parts quite beautifully, welcome and farewell. The first part is about this journey that has to be undertaken, the distance that has to be covered, the challenges that lay ahead in covering this distance, but also this willingness, this courage. There's these two lines which depict this message beautifully. The dark night spawned 1,000 monsters, yet courage grew 2,000 ways. So here we see the challenge and the response. The challenge is 1,000. The response is twice that. Because the reward is to be back in the cradle of love, the memory of a lost paradise. The second part is more reality, acceptance, happiness, gratitude for having been the beneficiary of all of these good things. Johann had written this in response to a letter that he had received from Friederike a couple of years after they had split up. She was inquiring into his whereabouts. The letter had found him at a time when he was at a low point in his life. And so he writes this beautiful poem, Welcome and Farewell. Here's how it goes. My heart was beating, quick to horse, like a hero setting off to a fight. Already evening cradled the earth, and on the mountains hung the night. The mist already clothed the oak tree, and so like a giant looming there, where darkness peered out of the bushes, its 100 eyes were one black stare. The moon upon its hill of clouds shone through the haze, the dismal drear, the quiet wings of the wind were beating, ghastly whispers in my ear. The dark night spawned 1,000 monsters, yet courage grew 2,000 ways. My spirit a consuming fire, my heart dissolving in the blaze. I saw you and the gentle joy which flowed from your sweet gaze to me, my heart completely at your side, and every breath I drew for thee. Fair weather rosy pink with spring lay upon your lovely face, and tenderness for me, ye gods, I, undeserving, hope to gain. The farewell, how distressed and gloomy, from your glances spoke your heart. What love there was in your sweet kisses, what joy there was, and oh, what hurt. You left and I stood looking down, watched you go with tear-blurred eyes, and yet, what joy to have been loved and loving, oh God. What a joy. Yeah, so there it is. Goethe's Welcome and Farewell, written to Friederike in 1767. That is 200 years before California experienced the summit of love. The year Mom and Dad had their second child.